Hey everybody, good evening. Sharon Brubaker here, grief recovery specialist. We're going to go live tonight. We are talking about, I'm reading a chapter. I'm actually teaching out of chapter out of Grieve That Shit. And this was a chapter that didn't make it into the book. And so that's what I'm going to be teaching out of tonight. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that are here. So glad you're here tonight. Just trying to set up the live so we can go. This actually is a chapter that didn't even make it into the book. And that's where I'm going to be teaching. It's why the hell didn't they know what to do? And I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just expected this. I expected that I was going to come upon my grieving experience and that I was going to walk out into the world and there were going to be all these professional grievers that were going to help me. That's honestly what I expected. I expected people to know about the grief. I expected people to tell me how to grieve. It's really actually how I thought there were going to be these professionals that knew how to grieve. So I think that's where I wrote this chapter from. It didn't make the cut, but I'm going to teach out of it. Okay, why the hell didn't they know what to do? Let's talk about something that pissed almost every griever off at a point. Why does it feel like the people we love the most have no idea how to show up for us? Why do they not know how to show up for us? And why are we so stunned when they don't? And you are in the depths of grief. It's not unusual to look around, feeling completely abandoned, emotionally, mentally abandoned, sometimes even physically abandoned. You're hurting more than you ever have. And all you want is to feel like someone gets it, like someone understands it. That's all you want. You want someone to say, I see you, my friend. I see you're in pain and I'm not running. So why doesn't that happen? Why isn't it that our friends don't show up for us? Thank you, Suzanne, my love. Thank you. Let's unpack the messy truth about this, behind this. We want support because grief is too heavy to carry alone. I'm going to say that again for all the people in the back, and I always say that. We want support because grief is too heavy to carry all alone. All right, so I was reading that out of the chapter. Now I'm going to teach out of it. All right, let's just say it out loud. Let's just say the truth. There comes a point in the grief journey when you look around and you're like, where the hell is everyone? Where's everybody who's going to help me? Where's all the people that know how to grieve? Where is the help? I don't know. Maybe it's just me and you guys. I just expected that there was going to be people that knew. There were going to be these. It wasn't going to be like grief specialists like me. Like that wasn't what I was looking for. I didn't even heard of a grief specialist. I was thinking that the doctors would know. I would go to my doctor. When Austin died, my dad was feeling so bad, I called the doctor and she wrote him a prescription. That night, right? I thought there were going to be social workers. I thought there would be social workers who knew the answers to how to grieve. And I thought they were going to have something that we call the Griever's Guide. We were going to have this book, and I was going to go to my social worker, and she was going to break down grief. That's what I thought. Hey, Miss Rosa, how you doing? You're backwards because I didn't change that. Hold on one second. Thank you, love. Good thing I looked up. There's like 30 things to do in order to go live, and that's one of them. Sorry. These are the people that I thought were going to be there for me to give me the answers to what was going on. I didn't think they were going to be so much strangers or even my coworkers, people who loved me. I just thought they were going to have answers. I thought they were going to know how to grieve. I thought there were going to be people who had been through grief. So grievers. I thought there were going to be grievers that knew how to grieve and could tell me how to go through this. Here's the truth. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. I'm shocked at how ill prepared we are to grieve and to give the information about grieving. I'm totally shocked. I'm shocked. We're walking through the worst pain of our lives, and look, we're walking through the worst pain of our lives, and we're not given the information for it. So it was 2006 when Austin died. Hey, Aida, it was 2006. When I Googled grief, I got the stages. I got 5 stages in many different forms. I got 5 stages, 7 stages, 13 stages. That was really all I got. I remember one day I was sitting in the kitchen. I was thinking, why hasn't she called? I have known her for 15 years. I've dropped everything for her. She was my friend. Why hasn't she called to check on me? All I could think about were the crickets. This was another friend of mine who didn't show up for me when Austin died. I thought people would show up for me, and they did in the beginning. In the beginning, for the very short beginning, they did show up. My dad estimated that when Austin died, there were 800 people at the funeral. The church was standing room only. It was absolutely standing room only. I have a theory about this, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Here's my theory, and I mean, take it as you want to, but this is really what I thought, and it's kind of sick. I think people came. First of all, let's do this way. There are 5 of us siblings. There's my parents. Each one of us are married, and we all have kids. Okay, so even though Erica was the baby, and she lost Austin, friends from all of our families, all of our coworkers all showed up. So think about all of that. Plus, we have a really huge family. My dad's from a family of 12. My mom's from a family of 6. We have really huge families. So they all came. Plus, my parents were pillars in the church. They all came. So yeah, I got all that. But I also believe there was this little aspect where people wanted to see a little casket, or they wanted to see a dead child. It's just a weird thing that I thought a lot of people came because they thought they were going to do that. And because of that, I actually went to Eric and said, I don't know if I can handle an open casket. She's like, me either. No way, no how. And we didn't even have a viewing. So I don't know how many people came for that. I don't know. That was just a thing I made up in my head. So there were about 800 people at the funeral. Beautiful, absolutely. Support through the roof. A 10-year-old child had died. So many people showed up. But they weren't carrying these books. They weren't carrying the book on how to grieve. They weren't giving us that information. Sorry for your loss. So sorry for your loss. I mean, that's what we were getting. A lot of sorry for your loss. This isn't about disappointment. This is about heartbreak on top of heartbreak. I'm not saying this because I'm mad at the world. I'm saying that we are grievers and we show up with this heartbreak, and then we get a second heartbreak when we realize that society is ill prepared to help us with our grief. And tonight we're going to talk about it. And I want to talk to you about why the hell people don't show up. Where is the answers? Where do people come with the answers? Grief cracks you open 100%. It changes everything. It changes your sleep. It changes your comfortability. It changes your safety. It changes your appetite. It changes your brain. It changes you and the way you think about life. It messes with your identity. Where we were a we, and now I'm a me. I felt secure with him, and now I'm afraid. Where are the people showing up for me to help me learn how to do this? Cindy said it's the second heartbreak is after the death and everyone disappears. Exactly. That's exactly what I just said. This isn't about disappointment. It's not like we're disappointed. We're absolutely heartbroken over the way that people don't show up for us and the way they just disappear. They're there. Eric and I have it almost down to a science. They're there, and they're there at the beginning. And I believe that they're there for about 3 weeks. They're there for about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, the funerals calm down. All of the people that came into town for the funeral are now leaving. They're all gone. And guess what? Cindy says no phone calls, no text messages, nothing, just silence. It's one of the reasons that we as griever isolate, because they pull from us and we pull from them. So both of them are happening. We reach out for people because the pain is too big to carry alone, and yet there's no one there to hold our hand. You are not needy. I'm going to say this again. You are not needy. You are not weak. You're not doing this wrong. You are grieving. And of course you want support, but you want support done in the right way. This is from the Grieve That Shit book. This is a chapter that didn't make it in. We want support because grief is too heavy to carry alone. Grief cracks us open in ways that nothing else does. It touches everything. It touches our thoughts. It touches our identity. It touches our sleep, our appetite, our sense of safety. It shakes the foundation of our world. And when something that massive happens, of course you reach out for people. You reach out for people you love. Of course you want someone to hold the weight. You want someone to do this with you. You're not weak. You're human. You're grieving. Of course you want somebody. And when we realize that there is no one, that we have to figure this out on our own, it is the second heartbreak that happens. Deborah said, exactly. I've been having panic attacks and anxiety attacks ever since Easter, crying my eyes out all night. I was alone on Easter, and I'm alone, and nobody cares about us. My heart to you, Miss Deborah. I care about you. Truly, my heart to yours. Monette says, I agree, people disappear. However, I've learned we have to reach out to. The great advice, thank you. You have to reach out to. Rosa says, it's sad when people disappear. The twins are going to bed. Sorry, guys. It's tough enough to talk, let alone calling people that don't communicate. I think part of, and Cindy, you guys are right. You and Monette are right near each other. I think part of that is also knowing who to call. Who am I looking for? I'm looking for somebody who isn't trying to fix me. I'm looking for the person that every time I say something, this is really hard, they don't say, well, maybe ... fill in the blank. Maybe you should. Why don't you? Aren't you happy? We're not looking for the person that's trying to fix us. We're looking for the person who's just going to listen, who's just going to be there, who's just going to be the heart with ears. Guys, look, this is hard. To be a heart with ears and just listen without making comments, it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. Here's the thing that they don't have. They don't have a mouth. We want them to just listen. It's hard. I'm the grief specialist. Even as the mama, this is hard for me. Last night I walked in the room and Brittany was having a tough time. She was just having a tough time. And I said, what's going on? And I had to shut my damn mouth. And I just leaned on the door frame and I just listened. And I just, every now and then I would ask her a question. What does that feel like? Well, why do you think that? And as a mama who's a grief specialist, it's really hard for me sometimes. Do not want to fix it. But what we're looking for is we're looking for this person. And I'm telling you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have one person that's this person that can show up for you with a heart with ears, who's just willing to listen, who doesn't have a mouth that they want to use and try to fix you, consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself very lucky. Okay. You're not needy. You're not weak. That's what I said. After loss, even making dinner can feel impossible. It's not about laziness. It's about your body not knowing how to function inside your skin, not knowing how to function after this trauma, not knowing how to move. Okay, here's a question. What is something you wish someone had done for you in the first few days or weeks? Name it right now. What is something you wish someone had done for you in the first few days and weeks? Name that right now. Katie says, this is why I shut my parents out. You can't fix this and tell me how to heal. I have to do it. Yes, you're right. Folks want you to move fast. Okay, Susan Sanders says they want you to move fast. They want you to move fast and they want you to fix it quickly. Okay, some of the things we wish people had done: send food, held me. Oh, just listen. Tell me that they're there. Hug me. Send me flowers. Hug me. Visit me. Just brought food and company without asking a million times, what can I do? Thank you, Don. Thank you. Fixing it. What can I do? What can I do? I want to tell you guys something. Also, send food. Just be there. Listen to me. Deborah said, haven't made dinner in 24 months since the last dinner I was made with my husband that night. He died and haven't made dinner since. Hey, Julie. Hey, my love. Hey, so glad you're here. When Austin died, my sister lives on a very long block. In between her very long block was her school, and at the end of her block was my brother's best friend. He lived there. We call him Uncle Shane. Uncle Shane lived there for 1 year. For 1 year and some time, Uncle Shane stopped at Erica's house every night. He stopped every night. He would go in, he'd give her a kiss and a hug if she was home, and he would just sit at the table, and they would talk. Sometimes they talked about grief. Sometimes they cried. But every night, he just stopped there every night without fail. There was a gentleman next door to her house, and for weeks, he just put her trash out without asking. He just went and put their trash out. He never even said, hey, what do you need? What do you need me to do? How do you need me to show up for you? What can I do for you is something we should never ask the griever. And I'll tell you why. They don't know. They don't know. What can I do for you? And they got a list this long. Just do it. You guys, if you see it needs to be done, just do it. Show up and just sit there. Show up like Uncle Shane and just sit there. Just come by for a visit. Hey, just checking on you. Sometimes he'd be there and it would be grief. Sometimes there would be no grief. Hey, Jelly Slug, I see you. I'll be back in a minute. Most people don't know how to hold our grief. They don't know how to hold our grief. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if I say his name and she starts crying? Oh my gosh, that would be awful. What if I make it worse? Can you tell me? I'm sorry. Is there one thing possible? There are some things. There's some dumb comments out there. But seriously, I'd rather have you show up, say dumb comments, than not show up at all. I understand the people on the other side are scared. I understand they're scared. They're scared they're going to throw us off. I understand that they're scared they're going to make it worse. But they can't possibly make it worse. The worst thing has already happened to us. They assume by not saying anything is safer than saying something stupid. But silence hurts more. Suzanne says, we're changed in the instant and they don't know us anymore. Yeah. Wow. Jelly Select says, I have to go, but I'll join the next live. I'll be back tomorrow. And then Saturday morning. Sandra says, the silence is deafening. They don't realize we're already crying every day. They don't realize we want somebody to just say their name. They don't realize we want people in our circle. And we want them past the 3 months. I'm sorry, the 3 weeks. It'd be great if they were there for 6 months. It'd be great if they continue to show up for a year. Julie says you have no idea how much grief you have until you let it seep out. I had so much grief bottled up that I was unaware of. Yeah, that's the other thing. Well, a lot of times we think we're only grieving the person that we lost. But when we look at it, it can be something else entirely different stuck in our heart. I struggle with grieving a child that is still alive, which I feel is the hardest grief. Okay, Katie, I can't answer that right now. I hear you. Love you. I'm going to come back to that. Why aren't the ones closest to us there for us? It's what I just said. They don't know how to hold our grief. They don't know how to show up as a heart with ears. They think they're going to upset us. They don't want to make us cry, and we're crying all the time anyway. Some of the things that come to their brain is just, it blows my mind. They want to help, but they want to be the one that says the magical thing that makes all of this pain go away and makes you smile. They want to be that person. They want to get you, know that they really get you. And they want to make you laugh again because you've been sad for so long. You've been sad for 3 to 6 months. So I want to make you laugh again. Nothing's making you laugh right now. When they realize they can't do that, when they realize they cannot fix you, they slowly disappear. And the disappear is kind of quiet. They just stop calling. They just stop texting. Suzanne, I would reply by saying, if there was something you could do for me, I would have already asked you. That's honesty. And that's the other thing we're going to get to, is that we have to be honest. We have to be honest. Debbie says this is the story of her life. Okay, I got to stop reading the comments because I'm not teaching. I had someone tell me that they stayed away because they didn't want to see me like that. It was too hard to see you like that, Sharon. I didn't want to see you like that. You didn't want to see me as human. You didn't want to see me crying over my nephew. You didn't want to see me broken. I'm sorry, what kind of friend are you that you didn't want to see me like that? Reading out of the chapter. We want our grief to be seen. We want our grief to be recognized, because when no one talks about it, when everyone acts like we should be better by now, or they change the subject when we mention our person, it doesn't just hurt, it digs deep. It makes us feel like our grief, like the person we lost, no longer matters. And it's so important for the griever to know that you still think about their person. That kind of silence, that whole new loss that actually is secondary loss to our original loss. This doesn't mean you're fixing anything just because we recognize it. It means I see what you're carrying and I'm not looking away. I see you. I see you in pain. We don't need you to come in and fix us and give us solutions. We need acknowledgement. However, if you have been on a grieving journey and you want to give me some advice, I will take it. I will listen to it. Thank you, Aida. I will listen to that. We are so desperate for how to do this. Grief doesn't come with a how-to guide. Even if you've been through loss before, this loss is different. Every loss is different, and we're going to experience it different. We're sitting in the middle of a broken world wondering, am I doing this right? Is this normal? This can't be right. This feels so bad. I'm dying. I want to die. I don't want to be here. So we look at people we love and trust and we think, maybe she'll have the answer. Maybe he'll know what to do. I'm going to go to my priest. I know he'll know what to do. He's going to tell me where it's at in the Bible. Maybe they'll have a map on how to get through. Maybe if you don't have the map, you'll have the flashlight. Maybe if you have the flashlight, I can light the path. But instead, we don't get any of that. We don't get a map. We don't get a flashlight. They freeze. They avoid. They say something awkward, or they say nothing at all. And suddenly we realize they have no idea what the hell they're doing either. There's nobody here that really knows how to do this. And that's what happened to me. And it happened fast. It didn't happen to me at 3 months. I'm telling you guys, within weeks, I realized that nobody knew what the hell they were doing. that nobody knew what the hell they were doing. Rachel, hold on. I'm going to come back to you. I thought that we were going to get these big, giant doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs that were going to know all of this. And I realized fairly quickly that people just didn't know how to grieve. And the things that were coming out of their mouth, God will never give you more than you can handle. You have an angel that's in heaven. Here's the thing that was repeated to me over and over again. Over and over again. And I was acting out in this repeating. Thank God she has you. You're so strong. Thank God she has you. You're so strong. A mother should never lose a child. Thank God she has you. You're so strong. And every time I heard that, I would just act stronger because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. Katie said that would make my blood boil. It did for Austin. It didn't. I mean, I'm sorry. It did for Donovan. It didn't for Austin. Let's talk about what we're really asking for. We're asking for their presence. We're asking for them to be present, not to perform. Let me write that down. We're asking for them to be present for us. Just be present. Just show up. Just be the person that I can call at midnight. Just be there. We're asking for their presence, not their performance. That C and E went together. Sorry. We just want you to be there. Just be there. Just be there. Just listen to us. Just talk to us. Just listen. Just ask questions. Just sit in the room. Don't say anything. I have a beautiful, beautiful woman that I worked with, and I actually got called right after her husband passed, and I was at the house. I stayed there for 3 days. For 3 days, I would just sit there, and I was just sitting in the corner. She knew I was a grief specialist. I was just sitting there, and we would talk. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And she was visiting her guests, and she was doing other things, and she was planning her funeral, and I was just sitting in the corner. And then anytime she needed me, she would come to me and ask me. And I stayed there for 3 days. 3 days straight. I just showed up. I had already lost everybody. I'd already lost everybody, so I kind of knew. We need permission to fall apart. We need to tell them, you gotta be okay with us falling apart. And it's okay if you fall apart, my friend, without being rushed. Okay, I want to talk about this a little bit more. You need permission to allow me to fall apart. I want you to give me permission to cry and do whatever I have to do. Even if the snot is running down my nose. Even if the snot is running down my nose and going into my mouth. I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't need you to take care of it. Right? I tell you guys this a lot in the beginning. It was one of the very first videos that I made on here. And I remember getting so much slack for it. Don't hand tissue to a griever. Hear me out. I'm giving my grieving friend permission to fall apart. She sits next to me and she just starts bawling. Snot starts running down her nose. The tears are running. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't do this without him. I can't do this without him. And I'm the friend. I'm the friend. I'm not going to touch her. I'm not going to pat her back. I'm not going to rub her while she's crying. I'm not going to rub her arm. I'm not doing any of that. And I sure am not going to grab some tissue and go like this to her. Why? If I'm sitting here and I'm totally crying and I'm breaking down and you're with me and I just really start crying and breaking down, just sit there. Just sit there. It's hard for us as a support. Just be there. The minute you start giving her Kleenex, Her brain says, oh, she can't handle it anymore. It's enough for her. Oh, girlfriend is saying it's enough. So here's some Kleenex. Okay, here's your Kleenex. And when you go like this, it's also a sign that you should stop. But maybe you haven't gotten it all out. You're an adult. If you want Kleenex now, if I were in the room, I would take the box of Kleenex and just set it by her. That's all I would do. I would take the box, I would set it by her. If I had one of these, which they have at the funerals all the time, I would just set it in front of her so she knows where she can get it. When she's ready, she'll grab it. Here's the other thing. I don't need you rubbing me. When you rub me, you stop the flow of my grief coming out. You guys, I'm telling you this because you're going to show up for other people. And also, something was bothering you with the way your person showed up and you didn't know what it was. And now I'm telling you what it is now. When you rub somebody, when you pat them on the back, like when you burp them like a baby. So when you go to give somebody a hug and they don't need to be burped. Don't burp anybody. Don't rub them. If I'm sitting here and I'm crying, I miss my person, and you start rubbing me, you stop the flow. You give me the Kleenex, you stop the flow, period. Took me 5 minutes to get that out. I need somebody who's going to give me permission to fall apart and be okay with it, and who's just going to sit there and listen. I need someone who is safe, who I can tell the truth to. And the truth is ugly. I need someone who's safe, who I can tell the truth to, and the truth is ugly, without changing the subject. I want to be safe, I want to tell the truth, and I want to tell the ugly truth. I don't want to be telling my story, and then I got a call from the police officer, and then I couldn't hear what he was saying, and I'm going through the whole thing, and you look at your watch. Grievers are so highly sensitive to every single thing. Every nerve ending in their body has been exposed. If you simply do this, look at the clock and come back, they know that they've lost you. They're going to cut their story short. Grievers are going to cut their story short. You look at your watch or you say, oh yeah, did you see the Dodger game? You changed the subject. They don't want that. That's not safe. That's not truth. That's not giving space for the ugly. And they need to know that they're going to be okay. And they want you to tell them, you're going to be okay. I'm going to be here with you. This is hard. This is the worst thing ever. But I promise you, I'm going to be here with you. I'm going to stay with you. You're going to be okay. They need to know that they're going to be okay. Let me tell you guys something right now. You are all going to be okay. You're going to be okay. This grief is hard. I know it's hard. I know that it's the hardest thing you've ever had to navigate. I know that. But I promise you, you're going to make it out to the other side. You are grieving. And there's a difference between being broken and grieving. And no one needs to come in and try to fix that for you. What is something that someone said to you that actually felt safe, that actually helped you feel seen? If you guys want to type that, what is something that as I'm telling you this story, you're like, man, that really made me feel safe. It really made me feel protected. Bella says, thank you for supporting us. Absolutely, my love. Absolutely. I'm reading out of the book, Grieve That Shit. This is a chapter that didn't make it. That's what I'm teaching out of today. And the chapter is called, in case you guys weren't here, why the hell don't they know what to do? Why don't they know what to do? Why doesn't everybody around us know what to do? We're shocked. We're shocked because we expected them to know us. We thought if everyone was going to get this, that if anybody was going to get this, it would be them, our partner, our sister, my best friend. Not because they're grief experts. I didn't expect them to show up and be grief experts, but because they know me. But grief scares people, and it scares them. It makes them feel uncomfortable. It reminds them that life is fragile and that they don't want to look at it too closely. It also reminds them that we only get out of here one way. They want us to be okay, and they want us to be okay now. They want to say something that helps, but they don't know what that something is. They want that version of us from before we lost our person. They want the version of us from before the heartbreak. And when they realize they can't fix it, many of them back off, and they back off quietly. And that feels just like betrayal to us. To us grievers, that feels like betrayal. I asked my husband every day if I was going to be okay, and he always said yes. I love that. Deborah says, this segment hits home. Wow, Sharon, thank you. I know you shut yourself out when you're stressed, so I'll be here when you're ready to talk. Wow, that's awesome. I love that. I got the backup quickly. Oh, yeah. Get the book. I'm going to hit that book. I'm going to get that book. It's you can join the get on the Grieve That Shit wait list. This chapter didn't make it in the cut, but I love it because I'm teaching out of it. And then there's this. They don't want to make us cry. That's the biggest reason they don't bring up our person's name. They don't want to make us cry. So they don't bring up our person's name. They don't say, how are you doing since Austin died? How are you doing without Sharon? One of the biggest reasons they don't bring up our person's name is they think, what if she doesn't want to talk about him? Okay, and this is huge, guys. What if she doesn't want to talk about him? Susan, I'm working like crazy to get it out by the 30th. I'm working like crazy to have it done by the 30th. What if she doesn't want to talk about him? Here's the deal. We only want to talk about our person. We only want to talk about the grief. Maybe I don't want to say his name, but I want to hear myself say the things out loud. I want to hear myself say the things that I need to say. I want to hear myself say the grieving things that I need to say. I want to hear myself talk about what it was like to walk in that room. I want to know what that experience was like for me. And I want to hear myself say it out loud. What if she doesn't want to talk about it? What if I say his name and she starts sobbing? Then what the hell do I do? Here's the deal, friends. You, as the griever, have to talk about your person. I am convinced of that. You have to be the person. And I'm going to tell you how I learned this. Austin died on June 17th, 2006. Austin died on June 17th, 2006. On June 18th, 2006, everyone, the 21 family members that were at the lake, walked through the door. They walked through the door. And the first thing that Austin's father, Lewis, said was, I want to use Austin's name. I want you guys saying his name. I want to hear his name. We're going to talk about my son. We're going to say his name. He set the tone for how it was going to be from that point out. He said Austin's name. He talked about Austin. He used him in sentences. And that set the tone for us always and to this day. I'm going to be with Erica and Lewis on Saturday, and I bet you Austin and Donovan will come up. I promise you that. Because they don't know whether to say their name or not. And because we're not saying their name, because we don't want to freak them out, so we don't say their name. Well, she's never said his name. She doesn't talk about him, so I'm not going to talk about him. So they say nothing. They don't ask you about the grief. They don't ask you how you're doing. They talk all around it. They talk all about this. They talk about this. They talk about this. They talk all around the grief, right? They just have these conversations that go all around the grief. They dance around it. So they say nothing. They avoid the one thing that's on your mind. They avoid the thing that's on your heart. They avoid the thing that's the heaviest. But here's the truth. Saying his name doesn't bring the pain. It honors him. It honors your love for him. It lets you know that somebody else is thinking about him. You were already thinking about him. You haven't stopped thinking about him. You are already always crying inside. The silence doesn't protect you. It actually forces you to isolate even more. Tracy says, I want them to say his name. I want everybody to remember him. So what are we really looking for? We're not asking for perfect. I mean, please raise your hand if you want everybody that's around you to be perfect in the presence of your grief. If you're looking for perfection, I don't know what to tell you, girl. I really don't. Because here's me. I've been doing this for 18 years. And I can tell you, I will still make a mistake. I still will make a mistake. So what are we looking for? We are not looking for perfect. We're not looking for them to be perfect. We're not looking for that. We're not looking for them to be perfect. We're expecting them to take the pain away. We're not looking for them to take the pain away. That's not what we're looking for. We just want a few soul-saving things. We want presence, not performance. We want permission to fall apart, just what I said. And we want to be able to cry in front of them. The people in our life are not grief experts. So we have to give them a space for that. We know they're not grief experts. They haven't been taught how to support someone through loss. We understand that. They're afraid. They are not you. But the grief is yours. And you have to explain to them how to treat you. You have to show them how to treat you. Grief is a mirror, and most people can't handle their own reflection when they see the pain back in you. So you need to tell them, please say my son's name. It's okay. I won't fall apart. Please ask me about my grief. When people say to you, hey, what can I do for you? Ask me about the grief often. We don't think about it because in the grief, we're so stuck in the grief and we're so distraught by the grief, we don't think about that. They're not showing up how we need them, not because they don't care, but because they are ill-equipped to handle the grief. And it's not their fault. But here's the other deal, friends. I'm going to say something and I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on you guys. We also are not telling the truth about our grief. Suzanne said it. I tell people, if I need you, what I need, I will let you know what I need. It was something like that. It was something beautiful like that. I don't even know if I can find it. It was so far back, but it was beautiful. They are not going to show up for us as experts because they're not experts. So we need to tell them what we need. So when they say, what can I do for you? Call me often, text me often. Let me tell you my ugly truth about the grief. You're probably not going to think of that in the beginning. But I'm telling you now, if someone asks you now, if you're newly grieving and people are asking you now, hey, Flower Girl, then do it. We need to bridge the grief between the people in the world and us. We've got to change the subject. We got to get out of this old, outdated 5 stages of grief pattern. We have to teach them how to treat us. We weren't taught how to grieve either. And most people only find out once they become the grievers. They've got to figure this shit out on their own. You got to figure it out. Friends, it's 2025. When Austin died, it was 2006. When I hit the Google, there was the 5 stages. That was what was there. Now here, there's people on TikTok. There's people on social media. There's people showing up. They're teaching. Some of them I don't agree with. I'll be honest with you. There's people out there still saying some things that I don't agree with, and that will probably always be. When we're telling the truth, guys, when you're telling the people the truth and you're telling them what you need, you're grieving out loud. It's grieving out loud with honesty. Stop waiting for them to get it. Do not sit in your house in pain and wait for Joe Bob to understand. He ain't going to get it. You got to tell him. If you're not getting it from your people, then you got to find the support you need. Grief Study Hall, the Facebook group, TikTok, Instagram. Find the group that works for you. This is a community where I am offering tons of information for this community. Everything that I'm giving the community is the definition of grief. I'm not giving you how to actually move the grief, but I'm giving you the definition of grief. Start learning how to carry this grief. Who's going to be there for you for the support? Instead of carrying this with disappointment, frustration, and being pissed off as hell, carry it with style and grace and find out who's going to be there for you. Suzanne says, I found that I had to educate people around me. I love this about grief and what to do and what not to do. But I also, Hope says, there are times when I have no idea what I need or want. And that's what you say. I have no idea. I have no idea. This hurts so bad. I don't know. And Miss Hope, because you don't know, people saying, what can I do for you is only adds to the list of I don't know. I prefer people to just do something. Just take my trash can out. Just bring me a meal on Tuesday. I might not eat it Tuesday. Maybe I'll eat it Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But guess what? It's going to be in there. It's going to be there. Learn to carry your grief. I'm gonna read the last part of that. Here's the truth. People in your life probably don't know how to help you. Not because they don't care, not because they've never been taught. They're scared. They're awkward. They're afraid. They're afraid of saying the wrong things, and so they say nothing at all. They're afraid of making you cry, and so they stay silent, not realizing that the silence cuts deeper than the tears ever could. It sucks, it hurts, but it's not about you. It's about their discomfort, their fear, their lack of tools. So what do? You stop expecting people to carry you with this grief, and you start learning how to carry your grief through groups and support that are helpful to you, and you start telling people what you need. Just text me today. Check on me often. Those are the things. Okay, I want to just, before we end here, my name is Sharon Brubaker. If this is your first time here, I'm going to end the live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and I'm going to stay on TikTok for 15 more minutes. Here's where you can find me. You can find me here in the Grief School, a private group for women who are grieving. You can find me at Healing Starts with the Heart. I have so much information that I'm giving back to this grieving community. And if you've been around for a while, we call ourselves the Grief Gang. I have so much information that I'm giving back. And here's where you can find the information that I give back. I go live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This Sunday, I'm doing getting ready for Mother's Day, Sunday with Sharon. It's going to be at 9 a.m. I'm doing a Sunday with Sharon. We're going to be talking about Mother's Day. If you've lost your mother, the group will work for you. If you lost your father, if you've had a recent loss, if any holiday is causing too much grief, show up. I'm going to be talking about all of that. That's on the 27th at 9 a.m. It's going to be recorded here in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, you want to definitely make sure you're in the Facebook group or on YouTube where it will be recorded. You don't have to watch it at 9 a.m. On the 4th, Erica, the mother of Donovan and Austin, my nephews who have died, she lost 2 boys. If you guys don't know her story, she will be with me on the 4th. It will also be recorded. It will be here in the Facebook group and also on the YouTube channel. So on the 4th, I'm actually going to have a guest. If you are a mother who's lost a child, come to both, but definitely make it to the 4th. If you're a child who's lost a mother, come on the 4th. You'll want to hear Erica speak. You'll want to hear the things she has to say. She just wrote a book. She's going to be sharing from her book as well. Hey, Sharon, did you change your schedule on Grief School on Facebook? No. I'm up showing up at night because it seems to do better, a little bit better. More people want to see me at the end of the night, and I may go back to mornings. I may go back to mornings. I was able to get my mom a card and a rose. That's beautiful. But I'm showing up in the Facebook group as much as I can, for sure. Okay. To everyone on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, I love you. I see you, and I'll be back tomorrow night. Don't know what I'm teaching on. I'll just be inspired at some point, but I want you to know I'm here for you. I'm so glad that you're in our community. I'm so glad that you trust me enough with your grief to come and get some of this awesome, awesome information. Thank you, friends. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye. Okay, TikTok, here I come.